right. Anyway, I thought what I'd do is just spend 10 minutes showing you how I play with music in my job, because I know a lot of you are serious about playing, and it might be interesting just to see the sort of parallels with music. I've been playing since I was quite young, but I was always told you shouldn't make stuff up on the cello because it's kind of bad for you. And it must have been when I was about 17 I realised my teacher knew absolutely nothing about play, despite the fact we use the word play in every language to indicate music. So I want to show you sort of just a couple of short pieces really, and maybe do something special as well. So the first thing I'm going to play for you is actually from where I come from. So it's from England, and it's a piece called the Lancashire Pipes. And in Scotland, the bagpipes are still actually classed as a weapon of war.
Really?
Yeah, they are, because they used to be used in the Jacobean army for signalling troop formations. And even back in that time, there's a famous case of a 14-year-old. So it's not funny at all. A 14-year-old who was playing them in battle, being executed for basically a treasonable offence for carrying bagpipes. And a lot of us in England feel it is probably a treasonable offence to own bagpipes, let alone play them. And I'd like to prove to you they are an offensive weapon. Anyway, so this is basically a piece from the 15th century, so it's relatively new in British terms. Just the 15th century, yeah, called the Lancashire Pipes, and it uses sort of drones and things. At the moment, these aren't doing anything, so this is just acoustic. Right. So this.
Meaning you're going to send some drones around, right?
Some drones. Yes, drones mean something different in music.
It might.
A friend of mine has actually just invented a drone which has a taser attached to
Nice.
it. Yes. Well, no, it's to make a point actually that this technology is not a good idea.
Yeah.
He's destroyed the technology in front of journalists, and he's using it now to deliver kittens to people. So
Yeah, he did that. Yeah.
he's great, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's very good. So yeah, this is Lancashire Pipes.
Thank you. What do you do with ThinkFun on a Wednesday morning? Have a famous cellist play for us.
So I'm really into technology, and this is a really lovely bit of technology. This cello was made in London, and I found it way back in the 80s, and I absolutely adore it. I've got a few cellos, but this is just the best one. And it gets kind of knocked around a bit, but it's been around. This one was made in 1750 in London. So it's not the oldest cello in the world, but it is. My other cello is a 17th century instrument, which is kind of crazy. And these things will be around in 300 years' time. And it's quite interesting, actually, when you see something like this that's basically a device that's reached the peak of its form, there's no point in developing the form. This is as good as it gets. And it's always interesting when you talk to inventors, I think, to kind of say, well, you look at something that we use every day as a tool, whether it's a phone or a laptop, it'll be obsolete in 18 months' time, which is kind of crazy. Whereas this, when you own a cello or a violin or whatever string instrument, you're just looking after it until you pass it on to someone else, really, because this will still be around in 300 years' time, and that phone won't be.
That's amazing.
Which is kind of crazy once you start thinking about it. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to pair it up with a bit of very, very simple technology. And people misuse words like hacking and disturbing and all the disrupting. I like to basically use guitar technology with what I'd consider peak string technology. So all I'm going to use here is two pedals. That's just a volume pedal. See this lovely amp. And this basically will record what I'm doing while I'm doing it. It's as simple as that. Which means if I press it again, it will loop back what I've just done. Which is great, because it means you can kind of stack an orchestra of stuff. And this is basically, I just want to show you very quickly how my main job is writing film scores. So I'm going to show you, because I can't play the piano, I'm rubbish at any other instrument. I can just about get around the cello. But this is how I write music. The other one here is just putting a tiny bit of reverberation. So what I'm going to do is play. I'm going to use a tune that's from about. It's a bit later. So this tune's from about 1650, something like that. And it's quite a well-known tune. But I'm going to stack it up in harmony and then try and put a few levels on it, and then try and do a Jimi Hendrix impression over the top of it as well.
Oh, just like when we create challenges.
Exactly, exactly. Now, important to say, my disclaimer, if I screw things up on the first time through, that's going to come around and round and around and round, okay? So it's a bit like when you put a bad bit of code in at the beginning of something, it's hell to unpick it, so here we go. Now,
so did you put 2 layers of music underneath there?
8.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chris, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, okay. There'll be a test.
At 8 times.
Yeah. And there was a wrong note in there, I'm sure he spotted it. It was a nice clash. So I thought it would be nice, as in ThinkFun, I'm sort of looking at all the games that my kids have got at home with yours, and obviously there's Rush Hour, which is probably the one that comes up the most, along with Later Maze, try and zap each other with it. And so I thought it could be quite fun. I must tell you, I want to embarrass her. Tanya came and met my kids. She came to England, and there's one morning over breakfast, and having bagels, I think, is a bit of a running joke, because I said, Tanya, what would you like? And I've got quite a few kids, there were 4 of them sitting at the breakfast bar. She said, I really fancy a bagel. And I see my kids just their shoulders going like this, and they're actually quite polite, despite me being their father. See their shoulders. And I lost it. And I said, what was that, Tanya? She said, I really like a bagel. a bagel? And at which point my son and daughter absolutely exploded with laughter. I was like, Tanya, it's a bagel. That's what I said, bagel. Bagel is someone from The Hobbit. I was going to play a bagel blues, but I thought actually it'd be quite nice to mix that with maybe a Rush Hour theme. Now the cello is really great as a sort of synthesizer. You can do all sorts of weird noises on it. I was very pleased when I was about 15. I managed to sort of nail a seagull sound by going. so I quite often use this to do special effects in films. So if you've seen any of the Harry Potter films, some of the sound design is actually this cello. On the Woman in Black, I've not seen it yet, but there's one of the door creaks. So is actually me. And you can do silly things by playing with the harmonics. You can actually do things like I don't know if they still use the music here, but the Doctor Who theme tune used to be. You can do all sorts of very silly things.
You can. Not us.
It can. I can't do it. And it can also do the Doppler effect quite well. So what I'd like to do is try to do a musical impression of Rush Hour, which means lots of things stacked together, maybe the odd motorbike and car and ambulance going past, mixed with Terrier's Bagel Blues. So, and I don't know what this sounds like because I haven't made it up yet. So actually it'd be really good to have a starting. Can someone give me a note? Please give me a starting note. It's like,
G.
yeah, good, correct, good. And the next note?
A.
Good. Not just you, sir.
C.
G-A-C, okay. Great, cool. So I'll try and base it on that, okay? Okay, here we go. I hope this works. Right, it's nearly over. So to finish with, what I thought I'd do is play a piece. I always wanted to learn a guitar, and I've tried, and I've got 3 guitars at home, and the more guitars I buy, the less competent I am on them. I can probably do about 2 chords, and that's it. It's so rubbish. I'm so unskilled on it. So when I was younger, I tried to learn to play the cello as if it was a guitar. So not just the kind of electric guitar impressions, but also trying to work out types of plucking. So not just regular pizzicato, but kind of learning how to do kind of Hawaiian guitar, kind of, do kind of very weird little patterns. And also not just using the right hand to pluck the strings, but also to use the left hand as well, which is ever so painful. And when I was at school, I was extremely bad at making stuff apart from noise. And we used to have carpentry classes, and the idea of being go home with some amazing piece of art or useful dovetail jointed thing that again would be useful at home. All I ever managed to make was huge bags of wood shavings for my gerbils. And similarly, when I play this piece, it makes huge chunks of wood shavings when my fingernails hit the varnish. So if you do see any chips of wood, please pick them up, because I need to deliver this cello back in one piece eventually. So anyway, this piece is called Woodwork, and it's ever so short, and it hurts. So, and this is it. This is the last thing. It's too early to play this, but anyway.
We're ready.
Okay, I'm not. Thank you very much for having me.